On July 17, 2025, Google didn't just update a model, it restructured the economics of AI deployment. 3 new additions to the Gemini Flash family dropped simultaneously: Gemini 3.6 Flash, 3.5 Flash-Lite, and 3.5 Flash Cyber. Each serves a distinct purpose. Each targets a different layer of the emerging agent stack. And one of them, the security-specialized cyber model, signals something the industry has been quietly moving toward: vertical LLMs hitting mainstream API availability, not as research experiments, but as production-grade commercial tools. Start with the flagship update. Gemini 3.6 Flash delivers what Google claims is comparable quality to its predecessor while using 17% fewer output tokens. That efficiency gain matters more than it sounds. In agentic architectures, where a single user request can trigger dozens of chained LLM calls, output token count is the dominant cost driver. At $1.50 per million input tokens and $7.50 per million output, 3.6 Flash positions itself as Google's workhorse reasoning model. Not the cheapest, not the most powerful, the most efficient per unit of useful work. For builders running multi-step agent pipelines, that 17% compounds fast. Then there's 3.5 Flash-Lite, 30 cents per million input tokens, $2.50 output. This is aggressively cheap, cheaper than most open-source model hosting at scale. Flash-Lite isn't designed to reason deeply. It's designed to run millions of times per hour on tasks that don't require frontier intelligence, classification, intent routing, entity extraction, structured data parsing. Think of it as the connective tissue in an agent system, the model that decides which expensive model to call. At these prices, Google is essentially daring builders to route every low-complexity task through their API rather than self-hosting smaller open models. Zoom out and the strategic logic crystallizes. Google is building a pricing ladder that maps directly onto how sophisticated AI systems are actually architected. Flash-Lite at the edge, high volume, low cost, low latency. 3.6 Flash in the middle, the reasoning engine that handles most substantive work. And Gemini Pro or Ultra at the top, reserved for tasks demanding maximum capability. This isn't accidental. Google is designing its model lineup the way engineers design agent systems. Every tier has a purpose. Every price point incentivizes a specific behavior. The message to builders: stop using one model for everything. Decompose your workloads. We've priced accordingly. Flash Cyber is the most interesting release and the most underreported. A domain-specialized large language model built specifically for cybersecurity applications. Threat analysis, vulnerability assessment, security log interpretation, incident response reasoning. Google has taken the Flash architecture and fine-tuned it with security-specific training data, reportedly including threat intelligence feeds, CVE databases, and security operations workflows. This isn't a general model with a security prompt bolted on. It's a purpose-built vertical LLM available through the same API infrastructure as every other Gemini model. The pattern is accelerating. Bloomberg released Bloomberg GPT for finance. Google shipped MedPalm for medical reasoning. Legal, compliance, and code-specific models have proliferated. But most remained internal tools or limited access experiments. Flash Cyber's significance is its delivery mechanism: mainstream API availability, standard pricing, integrated into the same Vertex AI and Google AI Studio platforms developers already use. The friction between general model and domain expert just dropped to near zero. That changes the calculus for every enterprise security team evaluating AI integration. This triple release is also a competitive statement. OpenAI's GPT-4o Mini and Anthropic's Claude Haiku occupy similar budget tier positions, but neither company has released a domain-specialized security model through their primary API. Meta's Llama models offer open-weight flexibility but require self-hosting infrastructure. Google is betting that the combination of tiered pricing, managed infrastructure, and vertical specialization creates a moat that neither open-source economics nor competitor APIs can easily match. Whether that bet pays off depends on execution, model quality, latency, and reliability under production load. For developers and architects evaluating these models, the framework is straightforward. Audit your current workloads. Identify every LLM call that doesn't require deep reasoning. Those migrate to Flash-Lite. Route substantive analysis through 3.6 Flash. Reserve frontier models for tasks where quality differentials are measurable and meaningful. If you're in cybersecurity, evaluate Flash Cyber against your current toolchain, not against general models with custom prompts, but against your existing security automation stack. The benchmark isn't whether it's smarter than GPT-4, it's whether it's faster, cheaper, and more accurate than your current SOAR playbooks. 3 models, 3 price points, 1 vertical specialist. What Google released on July 17th isn't just a product update, it's an architectural thesis. The future of AI deployment isn't one model to rule them all. It's precisely matched models at precisely matched price points, with domain specialization available on demand. The era of vertical LLMs accessible through mainstream APIs is here. The companies that adapt their architectures accordingly will build faster and cheaper. The ones that don't will pay the tax of using frontier models for commodity tasks. The economics are now too clear to ignore.